평화를 위해 전 세계 여성이 하나 되는 곳, Iwpg. Iwpg는 대한민국에 본부를 두고 전 세계 37억의 여성이 함께하는 평화 민간단체입니다. Iwpg는 평화의 답을 가진 HWPL의 평화의 동반자이자 HWPL의 명실상부한 한 날개입니다. 특히 HWPL과 함께 매년 평화기념 행사를 주관 및 주최, 운영하고 있습니다. 지구촌 곳곳의 평화의 답을 알리기 위해 최근 6년간 100여 개국을 순방하며 실질적인 평화운동을 펼치고 있습니다. Iwpg는 어머니의 마음으로 평화를 이루기 위해 다음과 같은 활동을 전개하고 있습니다. 인류의 번영과 화합, 평화국제법 제정이 답입니다. 전쟁 종식 세계 평화를 위해 탄생한 지구촌 전쟁 종식 평화선언문, 곧 DPCW의 법제안은 Iwpg의 평화협력단체인 HWPL의 핵심 사업입니다. Iwpg는 DPCW 10조 38항의 가치를 홍보하고 이것이 국제법으로 제정될 수 있도록 전 세계 여성들과 함께 촉구활동을 활발히 진행하고 있습니다. 특히 평화의 손편지 캠페인은 평화를 간절히 염원하며 DPCW의 법제화를 지지하는 전 세계 여성들의 마음이 담긴 것입니다. Iwpg는 2019년 3월 뉴욕 유엔 본부를 방문해 191개국 대사들에게 평화의 손편지 모음집을 전달했습니다. 이는 본국의 외교부 장관 및 대통령에게 전달되고 있습니다. 전 세계적으로 올림피스 컨퍼런스를 시행하여 실질적인 촉구 활동과 함께 평화 방안을 논의하고 있습니다. Iwpg는 각계각층의 여성 인사와 만남을 통해 협력 관계를 구축하며 DPCW 국제법 제정 촉구에 총력을 기울이고 있습니다. 세계 전현직 대통령을 비롯하여 종교 지도자, 여성 단체장 등 각 분야의 여성 지도자들이 Iwpg의 자문위원과 조력자가 되어 각종 평화 활동에 적극 동참하고 있습니다. Iwpg 세계 여성 컨퍼런스는 전 세계 Iwpg 지부와 협력단체들이 한자리에 모이는 Iwpg만의 대표적인 평화의 장입니다. 이 컨퍼런스에서 평화선언문인 DPCW 10조 38항의 국제법 제정 촉구 활동을 비롯한 평화사업의 실천적인 방향을 논의하고 있습니다. 세계 각국 영부인도 여성 리더로서 Iwpg의 평화활동에 참여해 힘을 보태고 있습니다. 나로부터 시작한 평화가 세계를 변화시킵니다. Iwpg 평화교육은 지구촌 여성을 평화로 하나 되게 하는 교육입니다. 단계에 따라 평화 워크숍, 여성 평화교육, 평화 강의자 양성교육으로 진행됩니다. 이는 개인의 변화뿐 아니라 가정, 사회, 국가, 그리고 지구촌 곳곳에 영향력을 발휘하는 실질적 교육으로 평가받고 있습니다. 또한 세계에 영향력 있는 여성 지도자와 단체장들이 자발적으로 앞장서서 Iwpg의 평화 정신을 배우고 실천하고 있습니다. 모두가 평등한 사회를 만들어갑니다. Iwpg는 매년 3월 8일 세계 여성의 날이 되면 다양한 기념 행사를 진행해왔습니다. 전 세계 동시 진행한 세계평화기원 불빛 축제를 통해 여성 인권 신장과 평화를 향한 염원을 온 세계에 전했습니다. 매년 3월 유엔의 여성총회라 불리는 유엔 여성지휘위원회 CSW에 참석하고 있습니다. 이 자리에서 각국의 고위급 인사들에게 Iwpg의 평화 행보를 홍보하고 전 세계 여성 인권 향상을 위한 방안을 제시하고 있습니다. 종교 자유 국가 대한민국에서 신앙의 자유와 인권을 보장받지 못하고 한 여성이 희생당했습니다. 이 사건은 국제적 차원의 인권 문제로 주목받아 외신에도 보도되었습니다. IWPG는 인권 사각지대에 놓인 여성들을 위해 캠페인을 펼치며 인권 회복에 앞장서고 있습니다. 한반도 평화 통일에 앞장섭니다. (2017년 11월부터) 진행하고 있는 한반도 전쟁 종식 평화협약 체결을 위한 1000만 서명 캠페인은 대한민국 전역을 비롯하여 전 세계적으로 빠르게 확산되었습니다. 해외에서도 활발히 진행되어 전 세계적으로 200만 건 이상의 서명을 획득하는 결과를 낳았습니다. IWPG는 한반도 비핵화와 전쟁 종식을 위한 끊임없는 평화 활동을 이어가고 있습니다. 청소년들에게 한국 전쟁의 역사의식을 일깨우고 한반도 평화 통일에 대한 소망을 심어주는 한편 조국 통일 선언비가 서 있는 분단의 현장 임진각을 찾아 역사의 길이 남을 남북 정상회담 성공 개최를 기원하며 평화 걷기 대회를 진행했습니다. 차별과 폭력이 없는 세상을 만듭니다. IWPG는 폭력과 분쟁, 전쟁의 문화가 스며든 지구촌에 평화의 문화를 전파하고 있습니다. IWPG의 손길이 닿는 곳마다 평화의 문화가 심겨지고 함께하는 모든 이들의 가슴에는 평화가 싹틉니다. 온 지구촌 가족이 원하는 평화. IWPG는 평화의 새 시대를 이뤄가고 있습니다. 인종, 종교, 국경을 초월하여 인류의 평화를 위해 앞장서는 IWPG. 지구촌 절반을 차지하고 있는 여성의 힘이 IWPG를 중심으로 더욱 견고하게 뻗어나가고 있습니다. 전 세계 37억 여성이 IWPG와 하나가 될 때 평화는 반드시 실현될 것입니다.
이제는 더 이상 전쟁을 기념할 것이 아니라 영원히 평화만을 기념합시다. 우리에게 필요한 것은 전쟁 종식 세계 평화가 내가 살고 있는 이 시대에 이루어진다는 확실한 믿음과 용기와 실천입니다.
IWPG.
The IWPG, a place where women around the world become one for peace. The IWPG is a peace organization working to unite the 3.7 billion women in the world, headquartered in South Korea. The IWPG is a peace partner of HWPL, which has the answer for peace and is one of the wings of HWPL. Every year, the IWPG hosts and organizes events with HWPL celebrating HWPL Days. To spread the answer for peace in various parts of the world, the IWPG has carried out peace activities visiting more than 100 countries in 6 years. The IWPG is carrying out the following initiatives with the heart of a mother to realize peace in the world. The DPCW is the answer to prosperity, harmony, and peace for humanity. The Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War, DPCW in short, is one of the peace initiatives carried out by HWPL, which is a peace partner of the IWPG. The IWPG is carrying out various campaigns to urge for the implementation of the DPCW with women around the world promoting its value as a solution to peace. In particular, the Peace Letter campaign contains the heart of women around the world who long for peace and who support the legislation of the DPCW. In March 2019, the IWPG visited the United Nations headquarters in New York and delivered a collection of peace letters to the ambassadors from 191 countries. These letters are being sent to the ministers of foreign affairs as well as the presidents of those countries. We are conducting the only peace conference around the world where we discuss peaceful measures together through urging practical activities. The IWPG is establishing partnerships by meeting with women leaders from various sectors of society and making efforts to urge for the implementation of the DPCW. Former and current heads of state, religious leaders, heads of women's organizations, and more are participating in various peace activities by becoming members of the IWPG Peace Advisory Council. The IWPG Worldwide Women's Conference is the main peace gathering unique to the IWPG, where the IWPG branches and cooperative organizations from all over the world come together. The conference discusses the practical direction of peace projects, which include the advocacy and support of the 10 articles and 38 clauses of the DPCW, which is a peace declaration. First ladies from around the world are participating in IWPG's peace activities and adding strength as women leaders. We can change the world with the heart towards peace. IWPG Peace Education is a program which makes women around the world become one with peace. The program consists of peace workshops, women's peace education, and peace lecture training. This is evaluated as a practical program exerting influence on not only the individual, but family, society, nation, and the world. Also, influential women leaders and heads of women's organizations are taking the lead to learn about the spirit of peace from IWPG. We create an equal society. Every March 8th, the IWPG hosts many events for International Women's Day. Through the Light Festival to Hope for World Peace, we shared the desire for the improvement of women's human rights and peace with the whole world. Every year in March, the IWPG attends the Commission of the Status of Women, CSW, in the United Nations. At this meeting, the IWPG wants to promote its peace work to high-ranking officials from each country and suggests ways to improve the human rights of women around the world. In South Korea, where freedom of religion is supposed to be guaranteed, a woman fell victim because her freedom of religion and human rights were not protected. This case was even reported in various countries as a human rights problem, drawing attention at an international level. The IWPG is engaged in campaigns to restore human rights for the women whose voices are not heard. We are taking the lead in the peaceful unification of the Korean Peninsula. The 10 million signature campaign to sign a peace treaty on the Korean Peninsula since November 2017 has spread rapidly throughout the Republic of Korea and around the world. The campaign was also actively conducted overseas, collecting more than 2 million signatures. The IWPG is continuing its peace activities for the cessation of war and the denuclearization on the Korean Peninsula. To awaken the youth to the history of the Korean War and to plant hope for a peacefully united Korean Peninsula, they held a World Peace Walk at Imjinggak, the closest area to North Korea where the monument of the Declaration of Unification stands for the success of the Inter-Korean Summit. We are creating a world without discrimination and violence. The IWPG is spreading a culture of peace to a world that was smeared instead with a culture of violence, conflict, and war. Wherever the IWPG touches, the culture of peace is planted and peace sprouts in the hearts of all who are present. Peace is something that all the people in the world want. The IWPG is working to realize a new era of peace. The IWPG leads the way for the peace of mankind by transcending race, religion, and borders. The power of women, representing half of the population, is spreading across the world with the IWPG at its center. When 3.7 billion women in the world become one with the IWPG, peace will surely be realized.
We should no longer commemorate wars, but we should commemorate peace forever. What we need right now is a firm faith, courage, and heart to take action so that the cessation of war and achievement of peace will be realized in this generation that we are living in.
The IWPG.
We sincerely welcome you to the 2021 IWPG International Women's Peace Conference. My name is Lydia Kim of IWPG, your MC for today. It is my pleasure to meet everyone here. Last year, through the unprecedented pandemic due to the global outbreak of COVID-19, we had to welcome a new era amid great chaos. Accordingly, IWPG must now represent the role of women in the new normal era with the new paradigm. The theme of today's conference is the role of 3.9 billion women for sustainable peace and the improvement of the status of women. Peace activists, including women leaders who love peace, are here now with us today. IWPG was established in September 2013 with the vision of passing on a world of peace to our future generation through peace-loving women who want to leave a world of peace with motherly hearts of love for their children. From September of 2014, network forums and conferences were hosted annually for unity and solidarity among women leaders around the world. Various activities for the realization of peace based on the Women's Network was held. In particular, we are in the forefronts for activities to urge support for the 10 Articles and 38 Clauses of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War, DPCW, which can prevent war at its source, to be introduced into the UN. In this conference, in-depth speeches will be made on the role that women should play for the realization of sustainable peace and the enhancement of women's human rights and interests. Prior to the start of our order of events, I have the pleasure to introduce Chairwoman Hyun Yoon of IWPG, who hosted this online conference for the realization of sustainable peace in the new normal era, and prepared this platform to unite 3.9 billion women in the world under a new paradigm of peace. Chairwoman Yoon widely stated that the power of a woman who communes with her heart and dedicates herself is another ingredient that can achieve world peace. Through numerous interviews with heads of state, which is unprecedented as a representative of a nonprofit organization, she has provided concrete answers to the role of women as agents of peace. She has carried out groundbreaking peace movements by building a global network of women. Please welcome Chairwoman Hyun Yoon of IWPG with a loud round of applause.
평화의 가족 여러분 반갑습니다. IWPG 대표 윤현숙입니다. IWPG가 평화의 길을 달리고 그 힘을 펼칠 수 있었던 것은 평화의 세상을 바라며 활발한 활동을 펼쳐주신 IWPG 회원들의 힘이 있었기 때문에 가능했습니다. 9.18 평화 만국회의 7주년을 맞이하여 IWPG와 함께 세계 평화를 선도해 주신 여러분께 진심으로 감사드립니다. IWPG는 세계 평화 실현을 위해 평화의 날개가 되어 HWPL과 함께 달려왔습니다. 그동안 HWPL 이만희 대표님과 평화의 사자들이 방문해 전쟁과 분쟁이 끊이지 않던 곳에 화합과 평화가 선포되기도 했고, 전쟁을 기념하던 곳에 평화의 바람이 불어 평화를 기념하는 곳이 되기도 했습니다. 말로만 외치는 평화라면 어렵지 않았겠지만 이 대표님은 행동하는 평화를 몸소 보여주셨고 지금도 그렇습니다. 하늘의 지시를 받아 시작한 이 대표님의 평화 활동은 그 과정 중에 모진 풍파와 역경이 참으로 많았습니다. 말로 다 할 수 없는 수많은 시련의 폭풍우가 밀려와도 이 대표님은 꿋꿋한 바위돌같이 흔들리지 않고 오직 앞만 보고 일해 오셨습니다. IWPG는 HWPL 이 대표님의 평화사랑 정신을 본받아 지구촌의 전쟁을 종식하고 세계 평화 실현을 앞당기기 위해 전 세계 39억 여성의 마음을 평화로 모아 다채로운 평화 사업을 펼쳐왔습니다. 2020년 아무도 예상치 못한 팬데믹 상황에서도 우리의 평화 활동은 멈추지 않았습니다. 모든 활동을 비대면 온라인 활동으로 전환하고 지속 가능한 평화를 위해 전 세계 IWPG 회원들과 소통하며 지금도 최선을 다하고 있습니다. 또한 2021년에는 뉴노멀 시대를 인류 회복의 기회라 생각하고 여성, 평화를 잇다, 공존, 회복, 소통이라는 슬로건을 걸고 다양한 평화 활동을 이어나가고 있습니다. 평화의 가족 여러분, 지금도 이웃나라에서는 분쟁과 폭력의 피해로 인한 탄식의 소리가 하늘을 찌르고 있습니다. 유엔과 국제기구의 대응에도 불구하고 분쟁은 멈출 줄 모르고 있습니다. 하지만 이보다 더 원천적으로 분쟁과 전쟁을 방지하기 위해서는 단순히 평화를 염원하는 것 이상의 실질적인 법과 제도가 필요합니다. HWPL이 2016년에 공표한 DPCW 10조 38항은 전쟁과 분쟁을 원천적으로 방지할 수 있는 선언문으로서 IWPG는 이 선언문이 구속력 있는 법안으로 제정될 것을 지지하고 촉구하는 활동을 하고 있습니다. 그리고 지속 가능한 평화를 만들어줄 수 있는 평화의 법이 제정되기 위해서는 전 세계 시민사회의 지지와 촉구가 아주 중요합니다. 평화를 싫어하는 사람은 없습니다. 그리고 평화를 싫어할 이유도 없습니다. 그렇기에 오늘 참석하신 모든 분들이 평화의 국제법이 제정될 수 있도록 주변의 모든 여성들을 독려하고 더욱더 힘을 모아주신다면 우리는 더 빠른 시일 내에 세계 평화를 실현하여 후대에 물려줄 수 있을 것이라 확신합니다. 여러분, 자라나는 우리의 자녀들에게 가장 필요한 건 무엇일까요? 공부를 잘해서 좋은 학점을 받는 것일까요? 아니면 좋은 옷과 좋은 집일까요? 이 모든 것이 전쟁의 상황이라면 꿈꿀 수조차 없습니다. 인류의 희망이자 평화의 주역인 우리 자녀들이 평화로운 문화 환경 속에서 안전하게 자라난다면 결단코 전쟁은 일어나지 않을 것이며 분쟁 또한 이 땅에 뿌리 내리지 못할 것입니다. 이것이 바로 우리가 만들어가는 평화의 세상이며 곧 플랜트 피스입니다. 플랜트 피스는 차별과 폭력, 분쟁 등 전쟁의 문화가 스며든 지구촌에 평화의 문화를 심어주는 사업입니다. IWPG는 플랜트 피스 사업의 일환으로 평화야 친구하자, 평화사랑 그림 그리기 국제대회를 매년 개최하고 있습니다. 대회에 참가한 어린이와 청소년들은 도화지의 평화의 세상을 마음껏 펼쳤고 그림 그리기를 통해 평화의 소중함과 필요성에 대해 배웠으며 전쟁과 분쟁으로 고통받는 어린이들에게 희망을 안겨주었습니다. 우리의 자녀들이 평화를 사랑하는 마음으로 그린 그림을 보고 있으면 우리가 만들어가는 평화의 활동이 얼마나 중요한지 더욱 실감하게 됩니다. 39억 여성 IWPG 회원 여러분, 우리 함께 아름다운 세상을 어린이들의 마음에 그려줍시다. 또한 DPCW 10조 38항을 근간으로 한 IWPG 여성평화 강의자 양성교육은 세계 평화를 위해 지구촌 39억의 여성이 하나가 되어야 하는 이유와 행동 방향을 일깨워주고 있습니다. 앞으로도 IWPG는 영속적인 평화 문화를 전파하기 위해서 더 이상 전쟁을 기념하는 것이 아닌 평화를 기념하는 세상을 만들어 갈 것입니다. IWPG 평화의 기념비가 세워진 곳을 중심으로 평화가 확산되고 평화의 바람이 불어 DPCW 10조 38항이 국제법으로 제정될 수 있도록 지지하고 촉구하는 일에 더욱 힘이 될 것입니다. 그리고 여아들이 평화의 주체로 잘 성장할 수 있도록 세계 여성 평화 센터를 설립하여 센터라는 커뮤니티 공간에서 평화의 마음이 자라나게 하고 사회에서 평화의 재원으로 자리매김할 수 있는 가능성을 만들어 갈 것입니다. 이는 스스로 평화를 지켜가고 또 다른 이들을 평화인으로 양성해 나갈 수 있는 자발적인 주체가 되어 다시 평화를 재생산할 수 있도록 장려하는 것으로서 평화를 이룰 수 있는 튼튼한 기반이 될 것입니다. 여러분, 여성은 부드럽고 강합니다. 그리고 하늘로부터 부여받은 숭고한 모성애가 있습니다. 인류의 어머니인 우리 여성은 자녀의 생명을 안전하게 보호해야 할 사명이 있습니다. 전쟁이 종식되면 우리 사랑하는 자녀들의 무고한 희생은 더 이상 없을 것입니다. 평화롭고 안전한 세상을 만드는 것, 이것이 우리가 해야 할 과업입니다. 세상의 모든 여성 여러분, IWPG와 하나가 되어 주십시오. 그리고 평화의 가족 여러분, 평화의 세상을 우리가 만듭시다. 39억 여성 IWPG는 한마음 한뜻으로 HWPL과 함께 세계 평화 실현을 완수할 것을 약속드립니다. We are one. 감사합니다.
Once again, I would like to give a big round of applause to Chairwoman Yoon of IWPG for arranging and for gracing this event with her meaningful greetings. The following is a progress report on the conference held from 2014 to 2019. Since its foundation, IWPG hosted conferences on various in-depth themes every year on the ultimate role of women in realizing peace, inviting women from all around the world, and exploring and suggesting specific ways to realize world peace. It is a time to look back at the conference topics and brief history, and also a time to find future directions. The progress report from 2014 to 2019 will be presented by Ms. Sarah Sung, who is the branch manager of Iwpg Los Angeles. We will welcome Ms. Sarah Sung.
Greetings. My name is Sarah Sung, and I am the branch manager of Iwpg Los Angeles. It is my pleasure to meet you. I will present the progress report on the International Women's Peace Conference from 2014 to 2019. Iwpg was established in 2013 to seize war and realize world peace by uniting women all around the world under the same heart of peace, and to pass this world of peace to the future generation. To achieve this goal, Iwpg has been hosting forums and conferences as side events during the September 18th World Peace Summit annually since 2014. The first Iwpg Network Forum in 2014 was held under the theme of the importance and role of women's harmony for the realization of peace. We heard from Ms. Betty McConey, founder and chief executive of Girl Child Network Worldwide in the UK, Ms. Jasenka Stojic Radokovic, a Croatian national musician and professor, and Ms. Bashir Alwad, former chairwoman in the engineering committee of WFEO, World Federation of Engineering Organizations in Kuwait. The 2015 Iwpg Network Forum was held under the theme of the importance of the role of female leaders in urging support of an international law for the cessation of war. Her Excellency Meme Tong, First Lady of Kiribati, spoke on the importance of the role of First Ladies and female leaders of each country for the cessation of war and world peace. PG Minister of Gender Equality, Her Excellency Rosa Zofia Akbar, spoke on the importance of the role of ministers of women and female leaders of each country for the cessation of war and world peace. Next, on the topic of the importance of the role of female leaders for the cessation of war and world peace, we heard from Her Royal Majesty Queen Mother Simane Bonolo Molodlegi of Royal Bafokeng Nation in the Republic of South Africa, and Ms. Muna Makamre, coordinator of the Parliamentarians for Nuclear Non-Proliferation and Disarmament Arab in Jordan. The 2015 Iwpg Network Forum was held under the theme of the role of 3.6 billion women for the cessation of war and realization of world peace. Attendees from diverse backgrounds suggested ways and directions for women around the world for the realization of peace. In particular, Chairman Man-hee Lee, Heavenly Culture, World Peace, Restoration of Light, HWPL spoke on the role of 3.6 billion women for the cessation of war and realization of world peace. Ms. Edita Tahiri, former Minister of Dialogue of Republic of Kosovo. Ms. Yeon-suk Lee, Second Minister of Political Affairs of the Republic of Korea, and Ms. Leokadia Gerasimenko, Head of Women's Union of Ukraine, also spoke on the role of 3.6 billion women for the cessation of war and realization of world peace. In 2017, the name of the event was changed to 2017 International Women's Peace Conference. The event was held under the theme of the role of 3.6 billion women for the cessation of war and realization of world peace. Chairman Man-hee Lee of HFPL, who declared the 10 articles and 38 clauses of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War, DPCW on March 2016 spoke on the role and responsibility of 3.6 billion women for the cessation of war and realization of world peace. Ms. Mervat Talawi, former General Manager of Arab Women Organization, AWO, spoke on the establishment and utilization of networks of female leaders for the establishment of international law. Ms. Uzo Feng, a former president of Johor Women's League, spoke on examples of activities to urge support and cooperative governance to the establishment of international law. Ms. Uzo Feng has developed a deeper relationship with IWPG and is currently working with IWPG Malaysia as the branch manager to bring peace to the women in Malaysia. The 2018 International Women's Peace Conference was held at a year of heightened tensions on the Korean Peninsula, and the theme was the role of women in realizing peace in the Korean Peninsula and the world. Chairwoman Hyun Yoon of IWPG spoke on the role of women in realizing peace in the Korean Peninsula and the world with the hope that weapons will be eradicated and peaceful reunification will be achieved in the Korean Peninsula. Dr. Tajana Josipovic, former First Lady of Croatia, spoke on the establishment of international law and role of women for the realization of world peace. Professor Lindeta Ademi of the State University of Tetovo spoke on the efforts of women to implement peace initiatives and provided documentations of the activities. The 2019 International Women's Peace Conference was held in various parts of the world, led by IWPG branches and members throughout 130 countries. In Korea, where the IWPG headquarters is located, it was held under the theme of expanding 3.7 billion Women's Network for support and advocacy of the DPCW and peaceful unification of the Korean Peninsula. On this day, Chairwoman Hyun Yoon, during her speech on the role of women for the realization of world peace, she stated that she hopes for the declaration of peace and cessation of war, an epochal answer to the realization of world peace to be presented to the United Nations and established as an international law to create a practical foundation for peace. World Peace activist Chairman Man-hee Lee of HFPL spoke on the signing ceremony of the statement in support of the peaceful unification of the Korean Peninsula and the International Women's Peace Pledge and provided answers for women to achieve peace. Although the official IWPG International Women's Peace Conference was not held due to the global pandemic crisis in 2020, female peace activists from all over the world have continued their peace activities, and as a result, as we again in a wider online space in the new normal era, more and more women are communicating, exchanging, and realizing peace. In the future, the International Women's Peace Conference to unite 3.9 billion women under peace will continue until global war ceases and world peace is realized. Thank you.
Thank you. Through the strengths unique to women, it has been seen that women have been the main characters for the realization of world peace, presenting various action plans under different themes. Thank you, IWPG LA Branch Manager, Ms. Sarah Sung. IWPG continues to work for women's peace in the new era of 2021 under the slogan of Women Who Lead Peace, Coexistence, Recovery, and Communication. We continued our peace activities by communicating with women around the world. There will be a report on the main activities of IWPG in 2021, which brought 3.9 billion women from all over the world together through various activities throughout the world and has taken countless steps to achieve peace. In 2021, IWPG has been running briskly, showing great growth in the midst of difficult times. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to everyone who has been with us through it all. Now, I will announce IWPG's main activities report for 2021. Looking back at this year, there were many things that occurred. First, the 4th International Branch Annual General Meeting was held in January. Though it was a situation where we couldn't gather, it was still held online. The 4th International Branch Annual General Meeting was a time to look back at the achievements of the previous year and introduce the main IWPG activities of this year. A total of 131 peace activists and 102 domestic and foreign branches attended this event. There were congratulatory speeches and presentations from various figures. Principal Larzi Vargas from St. Matthew's High School and Junior College in Mumbai, India, who completed the IWPG Peace Lecture Training Education, said in her speech, "Through education, we can develop the good character of peace, and we need to share this with society. This is what I deeply understood through this education." This year, IWPG actively promoted peace activities in response to the post-COVID-19 era with 3 core values of coexistence, recovery, and communication under the general slogan of Women Who Lead Peace. The only peace conference, which started in Korea in February, was hosted by the branches Busan West Gyeongnam, Seoul South Gyeonggi, Gangwon, Busan East Gyeongnam, Seoul North Gyeonggi, and Seoul West Gyeonggi. There were active activities to advocate and urge support for the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War, or DPCW. In March, this wind of peace blew all over the world, including throughout the IWPG Indonesia, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, India, Burundi, and South Sudan branches. With that wind, IWPG participated in the 65th UN Committee on the Status of Women, CSW, and successfully completed the operation of a virtual exhibit booth. This year's CSW was held online due to COVID-19. It was held for 2 weeks from March 15th to 26th, and during the operation of the IWPG virtual booth, about 1,400 women from all over the world visited the online booth. In addition to operating an online booth, IWPG participated in about 400 various NGO parallel events and introduced IWPG and the major peace initiatives to over 2,000 female NGO heads, activists, and leaders. The women who communicated with IWPG responded positively, saying IWPG's peace activities are interesting and that they want to cooperate in the future. Through this event, IWPG plans to lay the groundwork for cooperation with 3.8 billion women around the world. This news has been reported more than 44 times by media outlets throughout 7 countries, including Indonesia, Mexico, Egypt, Bangladesh, North Macedonia, Uganda, and Cambodia. In April, the second commemoration of the April 26th International Women's Peace Day was held online under the theme of Uniting 3.8 billion women to cease war and realize peace. The International Women's Peace Day was designated on April 26, 2019, with the vision of realization of peace and cessation of war by IWPG. It is a day commemorated annually for solidarity with 3.8 billion women around the world to protect precious lives from war and to pass on a peace to the future generations with a motherly heart. This online event was a time to urge the presidents of each country to support and urge the DPCW, which is the only answer to achieve peace, and to urge women around the world to take part in the peace movements to peacefully resolve the Myanmar crisis. This event was further magnified by the presence of about 1,000 members from 45 countries, along with congratulatory remarks from HWPL Chairman Man-hee Lee, Judge Louis Otis of Canada, and Representative Dorothy Gopi of South Africa. This year marks the 8th anniversary of the HWPL Declaration of World Peace, a commemorative ceremony held annually on May. This ceremony, hosted by HWPL and co-hosted by IWPG and IPYG, urged international solidarity and citizen support under the theme of Citizen-Led Peace-Building Initiative for Global Coexistence and Harmony. In consideration of the situation with COVID-19, the ceremony was held online and was attended by 3,000 people from 150 countries around the world. On May 25, 2013, when the Declaration of World Peace was first declared, there was a peace walk with around 30,000 participants. This peace walk has become a symbol of an international peace movement led by citizens, connecting each continent and country. Now we move on to June and July. IWPG hosts the International Loving Peace Art Competition every year as part of a peace culture dissemination project to bring awareness to the painful histories of war to children and youth, who are the hopes of world peace and the protagonists of the era of peace, and to end global war and to realize world peace. This year, qualifiers for the 3rd International Loving Peace Art Competition was held around the world under the theme of Cessation of Global War, Coexistence of Humanity, Communication, and Recovery. More than 5,000 children and youth from 28 countries around the world, including Tanzania, Ethiopia, Armenia, Indonesia, Philippines, Los Angeles from the United States, Nigeria, Kenya, South Sudan, Cameroon, and North Macedonia participated in this contest, expressing their love and aspirations for peace. In this international competitions, representative works that have been selected through the preliminary rounds in each country will be judged in the final round, and an awards ceremony will be held. Everyone who participated in this event has already achieved peace, and that peace will be passed on from generations to generations. In August, the International Women's Leaders Peace Conference was held in 19 countries in the midst of a busy preparation for co-hosting the 7th commemoration of the September 18th World Peace Summit. This conference is held every year in the first and second half of the year, where women leaders from around the world gather with IWPG branches to suggest practical and clear directions for ending global war and for realizing world peace. September is the month where the Festival for Peace for people around the world is held. People around the world are united under peace at the 7th commemoration of the World Peace Summit and the 2021 International Women's Peace Conference. Even at this moment, all of you who are here with us are decorating a page in society and in history. It was a busy year with efforts for peace. This is a beautiful moment that will remain in history as a cornerstone for ending global war and achieving world peace. Thank you everyone for your hard work and cooperation. Although we cannot meet face-to-face, it was a time to confirm that the joint efforts and movements for peace did not stop by conducting various non-face-to-face activities. I would like to express my gratitude and applaud the peace activists from around the world who have been working hard to achieve peace by becoming one with IWPG. Next, to congratulate the 7th anniversary of the World Peace Summit and to congratulate the 2021 International Women's Peace Conference, key figures from various countries sent their congratulatory messages. First, I will read a congratulatory message from Her Excellency Ivana Zemenova, First Lady of the Czech Republic.
Dear and kind ladies, it is extremely sympathetic to me that women from all over the world have joined forces to promote peace. It is a noble goal and one that is all too often forgotten in our over-technicalized and depersonalized present. We hear a lot about wars, superpower discharges, mutual rivalries, and misunderstandings. And so little is done in favor for the peaceful coexistence of different cultures and states. We often look for differences instead of trying to find what unites us. Peace is not a political or ideological slogan. It is a state in which society can develop harmoniously in respect for life and the environment. It is true that where there is a lack of mutual understanding between people, the plundering of nature goes hand in hand. That is why every voice calling for peace as a new way of life is important. Pope Francis's unceasing appeal for peace, together with respect for the social rights of man and respect for the creation that has been given to mankind to steward, is emblematic in this context. Equally important are the voices of women in this world. After all, who else but women should contribute to finding the harmony that brings peace to everyday life? Peace is not just a dictionary term, it is a daily experience accompanied by respect for our fellow human beings. I wish you all much strength, patience, courage, and joy in pursuing the dream of peaceful coexistence among humanity. It is not an easy path, but it is the only possible one, so that the global community is not consumed by the fire of power and economic struggles and frictions. Warm greetings from Prague, from Ivana Zemanova.
The following is a congratulatory message from Ms. Nicoline Waze, the founder of the Pathway for Women's Empowerment and Development.
Everyone else said it couldn't be done, but 3.9 billion women around the world are showing the opposite to be the truth. We are unapologetically playing our role for the realization of sustainable peace and the improvement of the status of women in the world. Our journey to spread a culture of peace around the world may be wearisome, but we trust our capabilities in achieving a world where human beings value and respect the precious and unique lives of one another, tolerate their differences, stand for universal justice, and are dedicated to live in harmony. Although it is believed that not many people have a story of their own to tell, we are creating our own story, and there are so many others who shall tell it over and over again. The journey may still be long, but we know we will reach our destination one day guided by our human-centeredness and other innate and intrinsic virtues. We are doing something stunning and making the entire world to even be prouder of us. Everyone is motivating and inspiring as we all hanker for peace. Congratulations, everyone, for the wonderful contributions towards achieving world peace. We are the most dedicated and wonderful people in the world, and I feel blessed to be part of this amazing venture. Together, we shall usher in a new normal to the coexistence and harmony of humanity by realizing peace and cessation of war for the whole world. Founder of the Cameroon Pathways for Women's Empowerment and Development, Nicoline Waze.
Thank you, Ms. Nicoline Waze. The following is a congratulatory message from Judge Louis Otis, who is an adjunct professor of law at McGill University in Canada and a member of the United Nations Justice Council.
Bonjour, I am Louis Otis from Canada. I am an international judge and mediator, a member of the United Nations Justice Council, and an adjunct professor at McGill University Faculty of Law. Today, I wish to express my congratulations to HWPL and Iwpg on the commemoration of the international law, the Declaration of Peace and the Cessation of War. This international law addresses the need to settle international disputes through peaceful means that will not threaten innocent lives or the security of nations. I congratulate you on your efforts to spread a culture of peace. Thank you for that. In conclusion, I emphasize that the time has come for the 3.9 billion women to forcefully declare crimes against humanity, war crimes, and acts of aggression is over. And at this very moment, my heart goes to the plight of Afghan women and girls who more than ever need the international protection regarding the violations of their fundamental human rights. All women organizations in the world should regroup to help our Afghan sisters. Congratulations, Iwpg. Let's work together to fight for peace worldwide. Thank you. The Honorable Louis Otis, International Judge.
Next, we have a congratulatory message sent by Ms. Teresa Ciricio Iro, chairperson of the South Sudan Women Peace Monitoring and Advocacy Group.
Greetings from South Sudan Women Peace Monitoring and Advocacy Group. We salute the International Women Peace Group on this year's Women's Peace Conference. We are really behind IWPG's call for world peace and believe that, in the spirit of unity, we shall reach the ultimate goal of peace. SSWP MAG, a consortium of several women-led CSOs and political parties, is happy to join hands with you in celebrating world peace and look forward to joining the International Women's Peace Conference on 19th September. We acknowledge that advocating and the achievement of world peace is not an easy road. The numerous crises in the world create a stumbling block, but is also a source of catalyst that not only strengthens our unity, but also escalates our resilience in advocating for sustainable peace. In our common quest for world peace, the need to establish a meaningful women connectivity network is inevitable, thus clearly spelling out the role that women play in peace building. We have not come this far out of vacuum, but through suffering, resilience, and hard work. Together, we are stronger in achieving our common goal for a peaceful and inclusive world. Remember, we are one, above all, unique in our solidarity. Yes, we can. Thanks. Chairperson of the South Sudan Women Peace Monitoring and Advocacy Group, Teresa Cericio Iro.
Thank you to everyone who sent congratulations, remembering the place of harmony and communication among women around the world. Another special person is here with us today. We will hear a congratulatory speech from Honorable Peace Regis Mutso, Directorate of Gender and Community Development in the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development, who has been helping our peace activities both physically and mentally as an advisory member of IWPG. Please welcome with a big round of applause.
Distinguished members of the International Women Peace Groups, all participants at this occasion, it's my pleasure to congratulate you upon reaching the 7th annual anniversary of the World Peace Summit. I'd like to thank you for the invitation, and I bring you warm greetings from the Republic of Uganda. And also to thank you for creating special space for communication and harmony, where global women leaders who aspire for world peace are transcending national borders and races to unite. On behalf of my country, Uganda, I'd like to inform you that issues of peace, and more so peace for women and children, have been a priority for our government. It is evident in the commitments we have made and implemented in various international and regional frameworks on the women, peace and security agenda that the government of Uganda is party to. At a global or national level, Uganda is implementing the third National Action Plan 2021-2025 on women, peace and security. As a United Nations member state, Uganda has embraced the UN Security Council resolution, in particular 1325, that was passed in October 2000 for the purpose of protecting women in situations of armed conflict. It is on this background, therefore, that I call upon all women leaders on this forum today and elsewhere in the world to stand together and speak with one voice when it comes to promoting women peace and security. Let us be the voice to encourage our governments to prioritize women's meaningful participation in peace-building process. We should see the role of the 3.9 billion women in promoting sustainable peace and improvement of the status of women felt around the globe. The time is now for us to walk the talk. I wish to thank you once again and wish you a fruitful 7th anniversary.
I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Her Excellency for attending and her congratulations to the Conference of Women Promoting Peace. Next, we will welcome Ms. Hyung Lan Lee, who is active as a peace activist after experiencing the pain of war. Ms. Hyung Lan Lee, President of the Unification-Oriented Council of the Republic of Korea, is engaged in various activities for the peaceful unification of the Korean Peninsula and is actively participating in the various peace activities of IWPG. Please welcome her with a loud round of applause.
국경과 인종을 초월하여 세계 평화를 염원하는 인류의 대합의 장인 평화만국회의 제7주년 기념식을 축하드리며 지구촌 여성 리더들이 하나 되는 세계 평화 여성 컨퍼런스에 초대해 주시고 영광된 시간을 허락해 주신 세계 여성 평화 그룹 윤현숙 대표님께 진심으로 감사드립니다. 저는 세계 여성 평화 그룹의 회원이자 사단법인 통일지향협의회 대표 이향란입니다. 저희 말을 들으시면 어디에서 왔는지 어떤 일을 하는 사람이겠구나 하는 생각을 하시겠죠. 맞습니다. 탈북민입니다. 저도 이 자리에 참석하신 분들과 같이 평화와 통일을 위해 일하고 있습니다. 그러기에 오늘이 더 감동이 됩니다. 더불어 평화의 세상을 후대들에게 유산으로 물려주자고 하는 마음으로 이 자리에 참석하신 여러분들이 바로 평화의 독립군들이구나 하는 생각을 하니 저희 평화를 향한 열정이 더욱 뜨거워집니다. 제가 세계 여성 평화 그룹에 대하여 감탄하게 된 것은 팬데믹 상황에 굴하지 않고 지구촌 전쟁 종식 평화 선언문 지지와 촉구 그리고 여성 평화 강의자 교육, 평화 문화의 전파 등 세계 평화를 실현하기 위해 활발한 활동을 펼치고 있는 바로 이것입니다. 평화를 이루자고 같은 목적을 가지고 일하는 사람으로 또한 분단의 비극을 누구보다 알고 있는 저에게 세계 여성 평화 그룹 평화 활동은 인류의 생명인 빛과 비와 공기와 같습니다. 평화를 위해 일할 수 있고 함께 동참할 수 있다는 것은 참 의미 있고 보람되고 기쁜 일이라고 생각합니다. 저는 탈북민으로서 평화가 더욱 절실한 사람 중에 한 사람입니다. 전쟁을 겪어보지 않으면 절대로 모르는 것입니다. 우리는 분단의 아픔을 겪어본 사람이기에 평화를 이루는 일은 절대적이며 다시는 그 누구도 전쟁으로 인해 아픔을 겪는 일이 없어야 합니다. 이것이 제가 세계 여성 평화 그룹과 하나 되고 평화 사업에 동참하는 이유입니다. 세계 여성 평화 그룹의 인류를 사랑하는 마음은 어머니 품처럼 따뜻하고 희생적이며 전쟁으로부터 자녀를 지키려는 모습은 마치 목숨을 건 독립투사 같습니다. 이것이 바로 우리 여성들의 마음이고 우리가 지구촌을 품고 나가는 힘의 원천이며 평화를 이루는 원동력입니다. 지구촌이 반은 여성들입니다. 전 세계 39억 여성들이 함께 손잡고 마음을 모아 평화를 외친다면 반드시 평화의 세상은 이루어질 것이라고 확신하며 실질적인 평화의 답을 가지고 평화 활동을 하는 세계 여성 평화 그룹과 앞으로도 평화에 관련된 일들을 함께 할 것을 이 자리를 통해 다짐합니다. 또한 이 자리에 계신 여러분들이 세계 여성 평화 그룹과 하나 되어 각 나라에서 평화 활동 실행에 앞장서 주신다면 사랑하는 가족과 이별의 아픔과 고통을 겪지 않아도 될 평화, 전쟁으로 인한 배고픔이 없는 평화가 저뿐만 아니라 지금 이 순간 불행을 겪는 그들에게도 반드시 찾아올 것입니다. 오늘 우리가 모인 이 모임은 후대들에게 찬란한 역사가 될 것이며 값진 평화라는 유산으로 남겨져 영원히 기억될 것입니다. 평화는 사랑입니다. 진정 어머니 마음으로 평화를 이루는 세계 여성 평화 그룹이 바로 사랑입니다. 앞으로도 세계 여성 평화 그룹과 다채롭고 활발한 활동을 기대하며 속히 지구촌의 전쟁이 종식되고 세계 평화가 실현되기를 기원하며 적극적으로 평화를 실천해 나가겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you for taking your precious time and for the precious congratulations. Peace cannot be achieved by just words. It is achieved through sacrifice. IWPG has grown by undergoing changes and not giving up in the face of many difficulties and adversities. We would like to show you these special and new activities and initiatives of peace through a video. Let's watch a video on the various peace activities that we've been working together on.
IWPG is a civil society peace organization created for the cessation of war and world peace. To pass on a war-free world to future generations, IWPG travels around the world raising awareness of the need of cessation of war and peace in the world through education. In addition, April 26th is designated as International Women's Peace Day to convey women's human rights and peace. It is a meaningful day for 3.9 billion women around the world to unite under peace, transcending national borders, race, and religions. A strong, legally binding instrument is essential for the cessation of war. IWPG has been running together in the spirit of the Declaration of World Peace proclaimed by HWPL, our partner organization, and is actively fulfilling the role of one of its wing, as we have found the fundamental answer to the cessation of war through the DPCW. By promulgating the 10 Articles, 38 clauses of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War, we have perfectly laid the foundation for moving forward into an era of sustainable peace. As a declaration created together by HWPL and international law experts, it is an innovative and clear answer to peace that perfectly complements the problems of current international law and can solve the various problems we face in our daily lives.
As both wings of HWPL, IWPG once again informs the world of the importance of cessation of war and world peace through the Peace Walk on May 25th and the World Peace Summit on September 18th. The answer to peace can be found in the 10 Articles and 38 clauses of the DPCW. To urge support for the DPCW and to promote its values, various conferences were held every year to bring women from all over the world together. Since 2019, we requested UN ambassadors and leaders of 191 countries for their support through a booklet of handwritten letters of peace. In 2020, an unprecedented pandemic hit the world. Despite the difficult situation, IWPG shouts for peace and solidarity with its branches and civil society groups around the world. IWPG Chairwoman Hyun Yoon participated in the UN CSW and urged for the establishment of the DPCW as an international law and for awareness of women's human rights and peace. The 4th International Branch Annual General Meeting was held online to discuss the importance of peace education and women's peace lecture training education. To leave peace as an eternal legacy, women leaders from all over the world have said that peace education is an essential education of today. IWPG is working hard on educating women peace lecturers who can teach peace for the future generations with motherly hearts. In February 2021, the Myanmar military used force to suppress non-violent protesters, resulting in many casualties. IWPG issued a statement calling for a peaceful resolution and cessation of armed suppression by the Myanmar military. We hope that the Myanmar crisis will be resolved in a peaceful way as soon as possible, and that a future where people can live in a safer country will come. The 3rd International Loving Peace Art Competition was held for children and youth who are future leaders of the world of peace. This event, which was held online in over 40 countries, is a place of communication that transcends race and age and unites everyone with the same heart and aspiration for peace.
The realization of world peace is our task. The 3.9 billion women in the world are not alone, but are united under the word peace, transcending borders, races, and religions. IWPG is putting more effort into the work of peace to leave a world that coexists, communicates, and restores peace as an eternal legacy. Let women take the lead and create a wind of a culture of peace now. Women connect peace through coexistence, communication, and recovery.
We are one.
Yes, I hope that 3.9 billion women from all over the world will become one with IWPG and become the subjects of peace. As women and mothers, I hope we can fulfill our role of rooting a culture of peace in the world so that peace, freedom, and love are prevalent. Next, we would like to invite everyone who is promoting peace around the world to listen to the theme of the conference today, which is the role of 3.9 billion women for sustainable peace and the improvement of the status of women. Our first speaker today is Mrs. Evelyn Letuan, former High Commissioner of Lesotho and former Ambassador of Lesotho to South Africa. She will speak on the proactive role of women for the realization of world peace during the new normal era. Mrs. Evelyn Letuan was appointed as Publicity Ambassador and Peace Committee Representative of IWPG in 2018 and is engaged in many activities for peace with IWPG, including sending an SOS letter to suspend the oppression of peace, hosting the International Loving Peace Art Competition, and attending the Peace Walk, to just name a few. I would like to welcome Mrs. Evelyn Letuan, former Ambassador of Lesotho to South Africa, with a big round of applause.
Good afternoon. My name is Evelyn Letuan, and I come from the Kingdom of Lesotho. Lesotho is a country completely surrounded by South Africa in the Southern Africa region. It's a country of a population of about 2 million people. Lesotho is a country where people greet each other by saying Kgotso, which means peace in the English language. The present king of Lesotho, His Majesty King Letsie III, concludes all his official speeches by saying Kgotso, Pula, Nala. In the English, Kgotso is peace, Pula is rain, and Nala is prosperity. This is what motivated me to work for the International Women's Peace Group. The IWPG vision and the purpose can be summed up as achieving world peace through the hearts of all mothers and all women in the world becoming one to implement the Declaration of Peace, cessation of war, so that future generations can inherit a world of peace, a world with no wars. For 35 years, since I was 19 years old, I worked as a police officer to prevent crimes in my country, to maintain peace and stability in the region, globally, and by cooperating with other police services and law enforcement agencies of the world. So when I was introduced to IWPG by young people from the International Youth Peace Group, at that time I was on a foreign service as High Commissioner of Lesotho Pretoria, and I was serving all the SADC countries from South Africa in Pretoria. I fell in love with the peace movement being introduced by those two young women and young men. And there was so much commonality with the ethos and the pillars that bound my nation since history, even up to this day. Everything they said about IWPG, Iwpg, they fell squarely within the pillars that bound my nation even up to today. In 2020, COVID-19 affected almost all countries of the world, and more than 50 million people around the world were affected. However, it is very encouraging to mention that IWPG adapted to this era and operated virtually in compliance with due measures that have been imposed by countries. The work for peace during this era has continued, and today we are engaged in a similar effort for peace amid the threatening pandemic. While the pandemic chart continues, global war must cease and stop. This is a clarion call to cease all wars, and we call for peace activities to continue for women and for children who are suffering from war and whatever conflict in their different parts of the world. IWPG must continue to take advantage of the online facility and continue the work for peace during this crisis era. I am a peace lecturer of the IWPG Peace Education. I have undergone training, and my role is to promote peace education in my country, in the region, and worldwide. And with the spirit of peace in my country and throughout the region and the world. The basic philosophy of IWPG peace education emanates from the peace that starts with me has to continue in my family, within my family, and then affect the neighbors, my society, the nation, and this is the peace that can overflow to the neighboring states and countries and throughout the whole world. IWPG Peace Lecturer training, utilized and brought into practice, immediately contributes to creation of a generation of people who are focused on peace. And this peace education training is binding the world into a single piece of a peaceful world. It is also empowering and strengthening women to lead peace rallies with other international and regional instruments to have women in the forefront of peace initiative in a very meaningful way. We need women in the forefront to drive the peace initiative. So we need a very, very high paradigm shift for the creation of a peaceful culture, and that can immediately become a peaceful world. We need to review the women's contribution to peace as citizens and also as voluntary participants, because the women lead the families, the women nurture the families. These women are amplifying the women's voices for peace all over the world. Collaborating with others whose purpose and the core business is peace is a very, very fundamental issue. And with a view to spreading a culture of peace in line with Article 10, it becomes very, very easy to cooperate and work with others who are also sold to the idea of peacemaking. Women of the world, all the 3.9 billion, must therefore unite with IWPG and work together for the purpose of worldwide peace and for humanity. It is the women who must shoulder this responsibility. Why? Because as mothers in the homes, they bring up and they grow children who have to be respectful, who have to attend school, who have to hear and set education to abide by the laws of their country. We also have a very good cooperation with the elderly women organizations. These are the stalwarts who share their experiences, who have walked the way, and who are teaching young women also how to continue working for peace in their own communities. The development for peace education, for education communities on peace driven by women in the families, in the communities throughout the nation. Making peace is a process. It is a journey. And this is a journey that women must walk for humanity. Whether it is on advocacy on women's rights and interests, whether it is awareness and discussions on peace, whether it is peace education that teaches the values of global citizens, or whether it is gender-based violence in conflict and post-conflict era, women have to walk the talk and work for peace. And they need to focus on these efforts, and the results will just manifest. We want to be the peace that we want to be. We have to be agents of peace. And we have to keep moving and move now, because it is action that is required. We have to keep going. As human beings, we are one race. And in fact, IWPG puts it nicely and says, we are one. You and me are just one people. We are human race. And if everyone started living from this perspective, we should see the end of war. We should see the beginning of peace and a more peaceful experience that can be inherited by the future generations. I am because you are is a principle that is based on the Sesotho Voto. And in other parts of Southern Africa, it is called Ubuntu. It says, actually, in summary, I exist because you exist. And in fact, the universal I replaces the individual I. I should see myself in you, and you should see yourself in me. And this is all about love. This is all about respect. And this is all about harmony. It is also well summarized in do to people what you want other people to do to you. All human beings are created on planet Earth, and unlike animals, we are the same. Therefore, whether we are male or female, whether the situation is a war or conflict situation, we are not subjects, we are not objects, but we are subjects of the state. Therefore, we need to be protected, women and children alike. Now, instead of sitting and writing about peace, women should launch a movement to realize peace through direct action. And I'm reiterating that to this end, we need to aim for working for peace and not protected peace, making peace rather than peacekeeping. And we emphasize that women have to be very active agents of peace in that process because of who we are, with a motherly heart, to love, to nature, to grow children into responsible adults, to groom future leaders and citizens to be law-abiding. Now is the time for women to work towards another step, and that is action. We must put ourselves wholeheartedly and immerse ourselves in the work for peace rather than letting ourselves sit and try to get work done without seeing much progress. It must manifest that we are actually working for peace. Every human being is so special, unique, precious, and born with the life from within. And life is extremely rare. Therefore, the entire world has to respect life because everyone has to enjoy their life. It comes once, and no one has the right to take it away from anybody. Therefore, it is the obligation of states to protect women in all situations. This is the peace that IWPG wants to create because we say life is very precious and we have it and only once. Article 10 of the AU Protocol on the African Charter on Human and People's Rights on the Rights of Women provides, among others, that, and I want to quote, women have the right to a peaceful existence and the right to participate in the promotion of peace. States parties shall take appropriate measures to ensure the increased participation of women in programs of education for peace and a culture of peace. And this provision was adopted in Maputo in July 2003. And Article 10 of the Declaration of Peace, Cessation of War, provides that we should all spread a culture of peace and ensure that peace messages are being disseminated and shared. This is a huge step forward. And therefore, we have to implement these provisions and make them even laws in our own countries so that they can be implemented and abided by all. There's vital progress despite the crisis era, and we are grateful and we are counting on our blessings that we are still here to continue doing the work for peace in actual fact, doing actions that can be seen that we are working for peace. I must thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Once again, a big round of applause. Next, we will hear from Ms. Agatha Susila Anthony Diaz, the founder of Amchagar in India. She is also a publicity ambassador for IWPG and a member of the Peace Committee for the establishment of the DPCW as an international law. She will speak on the theme of Network of 3.9 Billion Women. She was selected as one of the 2020 Forbes India Top 10 Female Entrepreneurs and has been actively involved in all IWPG events since 2016, including hosting the commemoration of International Women's Peace Day and events to urge support for the DPCW at Amchagar School in India in 2018. Let's welcome Ms. Agatha Susila Anthony Diaz with a big round of applause.
Hello, good day to one and all from India. I am so honored and humbled to be here on this platform to share my experience about the commitment and dedicated work of our peace family. My hearty congratulations to our chairperson, Mr. Manheli, and the chairwoman of IWPG and all peace family members globally on the occasion of 2021 International Women's Peace Conference. Well, I am Agatha Susila Anthony Diaz, founder of Amchagar, listed as top 10 women entrepreneur, an international magazine called Forbes India, honored by World Bank of Forbes, London, also featured by Passion Vista. Amchagar is a Marathi word. Since we are in Maharashtra, it means our home. It is a non-profit that works towards creating an impact at scale through its flagship programs in Uttar, Meera Bhayandar, Thane, Maharashtra, and at large in India since 1996. We believe in model of aggregation and strategic partnership, wherein we work with key stakeholders, including our beneficiaries, community, and donors to create impact at a scale in the lives of the bottom of the pyramid. Amchagar has seen a catalyst in creating social impact and contributing to our sustainable development goal through its flagship programs. Last 25 years, Amchagar has transformed lives of 13,19,469 beneficiaries. I'm proud to tell you that we are associated with HWPL and IWPG since 2019, and I'm highly influenced by their commitment and I strongly believe that their mission will be accomplished very soon. and I'm proud to be a peace ambassador. Well, the necessity and value of sustainable peace activities, according to current situations, should carry on for women and children suffering from war and conflict. Yes, very true. Do you remember in the early months of the pandemic in March 2020, the UN Secretary General called for an immediate global ceasefire, a global campaign led by UN in urging all parties to silence their gun and end airstrike by the end of this year, so that together we can focus on defending COVID-19 and building an equal, sustainable future for all. The promise of the Women, Peace and the Security's agenda provides a framework for sustainable peace amidst a global crisis, and it is proved by fearless women, but it did not persist. Yes, we all, along with other world peace groups, should reach to UN and as HWPL and IWPG and Iwpg is already on move. I think many of us are well aware of the DPCW legal document that is consist of 10 articles and 38 clauses, which essential objectives of HWPL are manifested in the DPCW by HWPL International Law Peace Committee, which is comprised of prominent international law experts from 15 different countries, who proclaimed on 14 March 2016 in the form of preamble, 10 articles and 30 clauses. But it is designed in such a way that sustainable international peace will be achieved by this. International Women's Peace Group wants to make a lasting impact in the hearts of people who have created peace, lecture, training, education. Having the main objectives, IWPG Peace Education is a process that makes known why 3.9 billion women should be united as one and what women may do, which it helps all women worldwide learn and practice the spirit of peace. Practical peace education allows people to realize that peace for oneself can extend to the home, society, nation, and the whole world. And they will grow with women around the world as a peace leader. The goal of Women's Peace Lecture Training Education is to educate professional educators who can give education for peace in the region and country with the spirit of world peace. How beautiful it would be. Being a peace lecturer representing the IWPG will be prestigious and honorable qualification that lasts long from generation to generation in the future. I highly advocate that 3.9 billion women join this training so that we can sow the seed of peace in a very young age. So that within a few years, we experience the international world peace as per our TPCW. Yes, IWPG, the International Women's Peace Group, has sown the seed of peace. Peace is planted in the hearts of many, and it is growing fast like fire in the world. We have and we are doing our well-planned work tirelessly. Now, strongly, I believe that along with our hard work, we should practice manifestation. Yes, one will enjoy the peace. If 3.9 million women under the umbrella of IWPG and HWPL members strongly believe that DPCW has been accepted by UN, all our fears, assumptions, negative thoughts, feelings should be eradicated so that our subconscious mind will work effectively every day, and within few years, DPCW will be accepted. As our pure interest is TPCW to be implemented. It is not for anyone's personal gratification. It is proved by thousands of people that whatever you desire will be manifested. We all have to visualize the positive thoughts, the feelings and the emotions which will occur on that day of acceptance of DPCW, declaration of peace and cessation of war. We should start affirming morning and evening that DPCW has been accepted as it is good for whole world. It is not written for anyone's selfish interest. It is written aligned with the original plan of God about the creation. because we know that DPCW can be applied as one standard to law, politics, religion, culture, and education to change action and thought of every person. The world should be peaceful and happy, peace to live on. Build up a gratitude feeling that we are leaving a legacy for our children to enjoy and make this world a better place to live in. Let Mr. Manhili, the chairperson of HWPL, be the hero of this vision and mission, and let the IWPG and the IPYGs and the whole peace family name be written in the history. We all, as a peace family, should take an active role for the improvement of women's rights and interest in and near our surroundings. Voluntary organizations, schools, and NGOs should work hard to change the mindset of men and women. This change can take place with the help of women, mother at first, only because she plays a great role in molding children. We need to train our women towards more sustainable development, create more opportunities for the startups, educate them with the help of block development officers in the villages for various schemes that are available by Women and Child Ministry. Once women are empowered, she is financially free, then she has a valid voice in world peace. Now, instead of sitting and waiting, women should launch a movement to realize peace through direct action, provide a platform to cultivate collaboration, multi-sectorial, global partnership, and empower women to contribute to rebuild during pandemic, sustaining their families, communities, and nations, as that is urgency. Until we are free of pandemic, we should practice love and respect, provide sacred quality family time, carry out your family responsibility, share with kindness and patience, practice a spirit of forgiveness, follow family home guidelines, conduct family prayers, show braveness and courage for action plan in our own communities. Women needs to be strong, not with emotions, but with their mind. All women should have one voice, that our children will not kill other human beings on the border. Let government find many other solutions for the safety of nation. Government will surely intervene in this new challenge. IWPG should take the initiative and involve all women groups, schools, NGOs working for peace, of peace campaigns, performances, competitions, introduction to DPCW in our angelic minds of students, so that by next generation, we can see the fruits of our seeds. We can start various exchanges such as academic exchange, culture festivals, humanitarian aid to promote exchange of cultural, social, educational aspects for mutual understanding and communication. In fact, we have printed all 10 articles in our Amchaga school calendar so that even parents can read along with students and feel proud that from very young age, we are sowing the seed of peace. Let me conclude my speech by thanking and congratulating each one of you. I humbly request you all to start manifesting our goal of world peace has been accomplished. The whole universe will come down to join our happiness. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you. I would like to give a big round of applause once again to the committee members who emphasized the need for women to become one for the realization of world peace. Next, Her Excellency Naseneba Toure, Minister of Women, Family and Children of Ivory Coast, will speak on the role of women leaders for the improvement of women's basic human rights. Her Excellency accepted the request to speak on behalf of the women of Côte d'Ivoire and is giving strength and courage to women from all over the world, beyond different country borders, to unite and achieve peace. Let's please welcome Her Excellency with a big round of applause.
voudrais tout d'abord témoigner ma gratitude à l'International Women Peace Corps, Iwpg, de m'avoir invité à prendre la parole devant cette auguste assemblée au nom de la Côte d'Ivoire en ma qualité de ministre de la Femme, de la Famille et de l'Enfant. Les femmes en Côte d'Ivoire constituent près de la moitié de la population dans une proportion de 48,4% selon le recensement général de la population datant de l'année 2014. La thématique sur laquelle vous nous conviez aujourd'hui à aborder est un sujet cher à notre président de la République, son Excellence Alassane Ouattara, une priorité inscrite dans la matrice d'action de notre département ministériel. Elle concerne la paix, une denrée que nous appelons de nos vœux dans ce monde. La Côte d'Ivoire a, hélas, traversé une crise militaro-politique grave durant la décennie dernière. Cette crise a fait officiellement plus de 3000 morts. Cet épisode est aujourd'hui passé et la Côte d'Ivoire est fermement engagée dans un processus de réconciliation pour ressouder son tissu social. Pour la sortie de crise, les femmes ont joué un rôle capital et déterminant, car c'est elles qui ont payé le plus lourd tribut. La Côte d'Ivoire restera cependant dans la mémoire collective comme cet havre de paix, un pays leader dans la sous-région ouest-africaine, ainsi jouant un rôle clé dans l'intégration africaine. Feu le président Félix Houphouët-Boigny, père de l'indépendance de la Côte d'Ivoire, invitait constamment les Ivoiriens à considérer la paix comme leur seconde religion. C'est pourquoi il ne cessait de le dire. La paix, ce n'est pas un mot, c'est un comportement. Cette citation est gravée aujourd'hui dans la mémoire des Ivoiriens de toutes les générations. Nous, Ivoiriens, avons la chance, depuis une décennie également, d'avoir l'engagement de l'actuel président de la République, son Excellence M. Alassane Ouattara, à poursuivre l'œuvre de paix du président Feu Félix Houphouët-Boigny. Il invite hommes et femmes chaque fois à privilégier le dialogue et à dire non à la haine. Il a pour vision politique celle d'une Côte d'Ivoire solidaire et unie. Le président de la République, premier président Iwpg en Afrique francophone, est également un homme d'État qui croit en la femme et ambitionne de la voir occuper des places de choix dans toutes les instances de décision, y compris celles de promotion de paix et de sécurité. Je voudrais vous citer ici une phrase qui traduit éloquemment sa vision sur le rôle des femmes dans la sphère de décision. Il dit ceci, et je cite, « Chaque fois que les femmes accèdent à des postes de décision, les analyses sont mieux faites, les décisions sont appliquées avec beaucoup d'intelligence, d'efficacité, de rigueur et de sensibilité. Et elles sont acceptées, le cœur s'apaise. » Dans notre pays, la promotion des droits de la femme a connu des progrès ces dernières années, à travers le renforcement du cadre juridique et institutionnel, à travers la Constitution de novembre 2016, qui explicitement, pour la première fois, a introduit la notion d'égalité entre les sexes dans son préambule. Il figure également de nombreux articles qui inscrivent la protection des femmes et des filles, y compris la lutte contre les violences basées sur le genre. Plus récemment, les femmes ont obtenu, après plusieurs décennies de lutte, la loi instituant un quota de 30% réservé aux femmes dans les assemblées élues. Mesdames et messieurs, la thématique de la paix interpelle au plus haut niveau les femmes car elles représentent plus de la moitié de la population dans le monde. Les femmes ont toujours été partie prenante dans la recherche de solutions aux différents conflits qui sévissent dans de nombreuses sociétés. Désormais, le développement des nations ne peut se faire sans l'implication effective des femmes, notamment dans la prévention et la gestion des conflits, les processus de prise de décision, de développement et de paix. Conscient du fait que, sans les femmes à la table décisionnelle, aucune paix durable ne peut être envisagée. Le 31 octobre 2000, le Conseil de sécurité des Nations Unies a adopté à l'unanimité la résolution 1325, reconnaissant pour la première fois l'incidence des conflits armés sur les femmes et les filles, soulignant ainsi le fait que les femmes comptent pour la paix. La résolution 1325 demande aux États de faire en sorte que les femmes soient davantage représentées à tous les niveaux des processus de prise de décision dans les institutions et mécanismes nationaux, régionaux et internationaux pour la prévention, la gestion et le règlement des conflits. Elle demande aussi d'intégrer, entre autres, la dimension genre dans toutes les politiques et programmes, y compris le désarmement, la démobilisation et la réintégration. La résolution 1325 met également l'accent sur la responsabilité de tous les États à mettre fin à l'impunité et de poursuivre en justice ceux qui sont accusés de génocide, de crimes contre l'humanité, de crimes de guerre, y compris toutes les formes et violences sexistes et autres à l'égard des femmes et des filles. Elle souligne aussi la nécessité d'exclure, si possible, ces crimes du bénéfice des mesures d'amnistie. La région de l'Afrique de l'Ouest et du Sahel a connu une augmentation de conflits armés au cours des 2 dernières décennies, notamment au Libéria, en Sierra Leone, en Côte d'Ivoire, en Guinée-Bissau, au Mali et bien d'autres pays. En plus des crises sécuritaires et institutionnelles aux dimensions régionales très souvent liées à l'expansion et l'extrémisme violent, conduisant au terrorisme comme c'est le cas de plusieurs pays du Sahel et du bassin du lac Tchad, il convient d'ajouter les différents liés aux processus électoraux, aux conséquences déstabilisatrices, y compris des transitions interminables et des nouvelles menaces à la stabilité de la sous-région. Ces crises exigent plus d'action des États avec une contribution efficace de la société civile, singulièrement des jeunes et des femmes. Ceci nécessite l'inclusion systématique des femmes dans la prévention et la résolution des conflits, la médiation, la négociation et la reconstruction post-crise, post-conflit, ainsi que la prise en compte du genre dans la réforme du secteur de la sécurité. L'intégration du genre dans les programmes et processus de paix est un aspect important à prendre en compte. Il en est de même pour l'adoption et la mise en œuvre de politiques, de lois et de mesures en faveur de l'autonomisation des femmes et de l'égalité hommes-femmes conformément aux instruments légaux internationaux et régionaux existants. Dans cette dynamique, mon département ministériel est à l'œuvre en lien avec les organisations de la société civile et les partenaires du système des Nations Unies pour mettre en œuvre une bonne coordination des interventions à travers la mise en place d'un cadre de partenariat opérationnel. Pour conclure mon propos, mesdames et messieurs, les femmes, parce qu'elles sont souvent les premières victimes des violences lorsque des conflits éclatent, sont actives et engagées en Côte d'Ivoire dans des actions concrètes pour la construction de la paix et l'émergence d'une culture de paix et de non-violence. Il est important de rendre lisible l'action de toutes ces femmes qui œuvrent pour la paix, qu'elles soient des femmes connues ou qu'elles soient des citoyennes anonymes. Nous devrons écouter leur voix qui nous appelle et qui nous interpelle. C'est tout le mérite et le sens de leadership de l'International Women Peace Group que je voudrais saluer à ce moment précis, de nous avoir donné, à nous femmes du monde, cette plateforme pour témoigner des actions de nos pays et de nos organisations féminines engagées. Le message clair que nous voudrions souligner est que chaque être doit se mobiliser là où il se trouve pour faire durer la paix le plus longtemps possible dans un monde trop souvent troublé. Je vous remercie.
Yes, Her Excellency's powerful message seems to further strengthen our women's rights. Once again, thank you and a big round of applause. I would like to relay the hearts of gratitude of all 3.9 billion women today, the three speakers who spoke today. Next, we will have a special performance, which you can say is the flower of today's conference. Let's view the performance. Throughout the performance, I was able to see everyone's expressions, and it was truly peaceful. If world peace is realized, I think we'll be able to welcome peace with even brighter smiles. We would like to give a warm round of applause to all those involved in preparing for this performance. Thank you. Everyone, to cease global war and to achieve world peace, peace must be promoted worldwide. Therefore, IWPG appoints ambassadors for female leaders and journalists around the world every year in the hope that the wind of peace will spread around the world. To commemorate the 7th anniversary of the World Peace Summit, the largest festival of peace in the world, we will have an inauguration of IWPG publicity ambassadors. There are 3 who are to be appointed today. First, I would like to welcome Dr. Maha Al-Sakban, the founder and director of the Women's Human Rights Center in Iraq. Certificate of Appointment. Name, Dr. Maha Al-Sakban. Is hereby appointed as Publicity Ambassador of IWPG to work in solidarity with IWPG Peace Committee, city, country, and 3.9 billion women in the world with the motherly heart to achieve cessation of war and to inherit a world of peace to the future generations. September 19, 2021, IWPG Chairwoman Hyun Suk Yoon. Next is Professor Han Yeon-ju of Heungryong Province, National Academy of China. Certificate of Appointment. Name, Han Yeon-ju. Is hereby appointed as Publicity Ambassador of IWPG to work in solidarity with IWPG Peace Committee, city, country, and 3.9 billion women in the world with the motherly heart to achieve cessation of war and to inherit a world of peace to the future generations. September 19, 2021, IWPG Chairwoman Hyun Suk Yoon. Lastly, we will have Ms. Erlinda Olivia Tu, National Secretary of the National Federation of Women's Club of the Philippines. Certificate of Appointment. Name, Ms. Erlinda Olivia Tu. Is hereby appointed as Publicity Ambassador of IWPG to work in solidarity with IWPG Peace Committee, city, country, and 3.9 billion women in the world with the motherly heart to achieve cessation of war and to inherit a world of peace to the future generations. September 19, 2021, IWPG Chairwoman Hyun Suk Yoon. Yes, please give a big round of applause so that the 3 who are appointed today can become trumpets of peace and boldly promote peace. The next order is a time for a peace performance that will be recorded forever for our future generations. I think you have been given guidance in advance for this performance. So at this time, please open the app on your phone as instructed and entering the following: We Are One, Peace, and IWPG in that order. And let's try to find the function that allows the text to blink as it passes by. Can we see everyone's screens? Yes, that's so very beautiful. So let's sway side to side as we sing hand in hand in English. Finally, we will take a photo to commemorate today's conference, where women leaders representing the world and leaders of peace are gathered together. So everyone, I ask that you please sit down, look straight ahead at your screen, and smile brightly. For the first shoot, we will all shout "World Peace" and take a picture together. Please note we will take our picture and hold our pose for 30 seconds. We will now take the picture. 1, 2, 3. World Peace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Thank you. So, now for our second picture, please raise your index finger to the right of the screen and shout, "We are one." Please look straight ahead again with bright smiles, and we will also hold this pose for 30 seconds. We will now take the picture. 1, 2, 3. We are one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and now 30. Thank you. This concludes the 2021 Iwpg International Women's Peace Conference. I hope that COVID-19 will end as soon as possible so that we can all meet in person again. Thank you to everyone who has been with us so far, and I hope you have a pleasant day. Thank you.